Alright guys, I'm going to continue here on my Alexander McQueen document, and I'm going to introduce you to a couple of ideas as well. So just a reminder here, this little tool up here is your move tool. It means that I can move things around like this. And let me open my layers, and so if I click on any of these little kind of guys here, then a menu pops up, and then other menus, other tabs within that. So we have path, channels, and layers. And of course, these three things all relate to each other, and that is why they're grouped together. So here I am on Poppy Feather Dress, and let's go to my path here, and you can see over here the three down here as well, but they're still kind of grouped. So I've got my cloud shape, and it's no longer in alignment with my shape because I moved it back. I'll just try going Control Z to move my shape back. Yes, and there it is. They are now together. Now I'm going to show you a couple little tricks here. I don't want you guys doing too much color manipulation or anything just yet. So I have selected this, and now let's say I wanted to give this a nice kind of feathered look. A selection really means that I can now work, manipulate, change this image, and that the other information on the document will really not be touched so much. So again, select, let's do inverse, because what I want to do is just show you a kind of nice feathered edge on this. So it might be a little cheesy, but let's give it a try, okay? So now let's see if I can even remember here. Yes, so I'm going to go feather, and we'll say 30 right now. So what the feather is going to do is kind of give the outside of this a sort of, well, feathered look. You can see here how the lines are kind of distorted. Now when I hit delete this time, you'll see that it'll kind of leave this sort of cloudy sort of haze. And if I'll do it a couple of times just to kind of give it that look. And now Control D to deselect. And now this layer is more kind of like a sort of like in a little cloud, and I can move her around like that, and you can see that the edges are kind of gauzed out. You can also do this with more regular shapes. It's kind of a fun, easy introduction to playing around with manipulating your layers and selections. So there you have that. Now let's go over to layers again, and red feather dress. Here we have it. Let's just pop that up above, and sometimes I find it's easier to slide one down rather than the other over. So here we have our red feather dress, and let's kind of play with our little selection area here. I showed you before the little kind of oval here, and here we have one, and there's another one. Let's just, whoops. Now what am I doing? Why are these two things moving together? Because I am moving the layer, not the actual selection. So let's go back a section here. So there you go. And as I said before, play around, make mistakes. I'll show you the history menu in a second. So here we go. We want to go select inverse, delete. I'm not suggesting you, oops, and I am on the wrong layer. So if you see this happen, you know you're on the wrong layer, and you'll delete the whole content. So don't panic. It would be my advice. Control D to let go of that. I'm on this layer. Always remember you can go back in, as I showed you before, the history menu, which is your friend, because it means that when you make the numerous mistakes that one can make here, you don't get panicked. You just go back in history. Here we go. See that? I can go way back. This is a great little tool. Let's just go right back to the beginning here to show you how. There we go. That's it. That's kind of an introduction to a couple of the tools in a little more depth. I will be moving on to text in the next lesson. Thank you very much.